I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. As you come on in, know that you are in a safe space. Know that you're in a space of learning and getting learned up. Know that you're in a space of educating and being educated. Know that you're in a space for conversations, questions and answers, comments and concerns, dialogue, intelligence, building and destroying, intellect. Your space, a space of love, a space where we work on unity as we seek a path towards true liberation. As my classroom assistants, come on in. Please keep all contact information in the chat for the duration of class. Please keep all funding information in the chat for the duration of class. Let's fund this war effort. Fund the war effort. You see the camo. You see the camo. You see the camo. We at war. Fund the war effort. Other people see the camo too. Yeah, we know already. Got a lot of people lurking. Yeah, y'all can subscribe too. Don't be afraid. Subscribe. Comment. Yeah, we know you're watching. Okay? If you or anybody you know is in need of anger management, please book an assessment. If you are somebody you know is in need of an anger management assessment, please book it. Tell them to book it. Book it for them. Get the help that you need before it's too late. If you or anybody you know is in need of domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment. If you or anyone you know, your uncle, your cousin, your boss, damn it, your pastor, yeah, man, your side chick or your side dude, if y'all need, an intimate relationship intervention, book an assessment, learn the warning signs, the behaviors that you should be alarmed by, characteristics that you should have an awareness of. Okay? Remember, the information, the life that you save could be your own. Let's get to it tonight. Yeah, after the news, late night. Cause man, tomorrow is a different type of time and we be on a different schedule tomorrow. Maybe in my for class. Yeah, got some business to tend to. So we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this quickly. It's not hard to rip these people apart. Black men are failing. Yeah. That seems to be the tone for 2024. Black men are failing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The proof is in the pudding. Yeah. And because of that failure, we're getting X'd out of the equations. So listen up, man. Somebody tag Steve Harvey. Yeah, tag him. He just won't quit with the boot licking. Call him. Tag him. Tell him to come to class. Yeah. Oh, man. And somebody, if you in the D, yeah, if you in Detroit, if you in Motown, Michigan, please, somebody. Tag Judge Kenneth King. Tag him. Yeah, wannabe Judge Mathis. Tag him. We need some answers, homie. Yeah, we need some answers. Yup. Black men. Again, two different sides of the spectrum. An actual judge and a wannabe judge on the television, bootlicking, cooning, and doing all of the work of the old faith. But as y'all tag them, tag yourselves too. Tag your classmates because it's late. They might have the cat stuff under their eye. They maybe sleep already. Yeah, wake them up. Tell them we in class. E. Blandon first in class. What up? Marguerite, we see you. Yeah, you made it. Geechee, what up? Joel, salute. Much appreciated for the super chat early, Joels. Let's talk about it, podcast. We see you. You up in here? Yeah, see Blaze the sniper. Yeah. Up. Get up, y'all. Let's go. Bam. Yes, Bam, we here. Stay strong, remain strong, man. We got you. Yes. GB, Andre Jones. What's going on? Move. This is your neck of town. Move. Get your people. Move. Get your people. Cool K Kane in the building. S. Beckles. Yeah. Little Brit Magic, what's going on with y'all? How y'all doing? Across the pond. We got London in the spot, y'all. Yeah. Chop. What up, Chop? What's going on? Frankie. Yeah, Frankie. This is for all of y'all who slipped that to me. We got to figure it out. Ken Williams. What's going on? Tierra. What up, T Green? Zone 864 TV. What up? Mac J, St. Louis 55. Mac J, got him. Versace Broccoli 55. Got him. Let's play. What's going on? Uptown Dre, Freddie. What up, Fred? Angel Dickinson, J. Fry. Memphis is in the building. What's going on? Elusive Views. Rodney. What up, Rodney? Rodney in the building. Mike Nice. Bernie. Dad. Bernie. Yeah. Christopher Farmer. Uh-oh. It's going down. Mahogany. Going down. B-Ville is in the spotty spot. Yeah. Yeah. We need the whole Michigan in here tonight. Some got to give. Some got to give. And we got to address that first. We have to address that first. If you haven't seen the video or haven't heard of the story, there was a 16-year-old girl on what they're calling a class trip. A class trip to the courthouse. Now, this isn't summer school. She wasn't in summer school. This is a non-profit organization. Yeah, non-profit organization out there. Now, why has this particular non-profit decided that a trip to the courthouse to see the functionality of the court system is? I have no idea. I know what they make an attempt to do with it. But when it comes to the justice system, our kids should be far, far away. Far away from it. Okay? Yeah. If anything, we should consistently work on prevention. Prevention. We see enough real court TV shows. We see enough fraudulent court TV shows. For me, for us, sitting here, right, in a capitalist ran institution of a corporation that makes money off of people who unfortunately fill the justice system, I think is a total disrespect, not only for us, but for the entire globe, to make light of and make a mockery of a system that consistently changes lives, destroys lives, and has no true equity at all. At all. Every time I'm looking at a court show, I feel a ways about it. Most of those people who they're calling judges aren't even judges. Some of them are just entertainers. Some of them may have a law degree. Some of them may not. That is disrespectful. It is an insult to those of us who have felt the sting of the actual system. So our children should have nothing to do with that at that level. At that level. You understand? Nah. But anyway, this nonprofit made that decision to take this group of children through the court system and again watch hearings, proceedings as they go on. One of these young teens, a young melanated girl, 16 years old, for whatever reason couldn't sit up. For whatever reason, she kept dozing off. We don't know her history. We don't know what she was doing the night before. For me, nor does it matter. As many teens do when they are disinterested in a setting where they're supposed to be learning and may not have the best educator, the best orator, the best person to engage with the children, they fall asleep. Many, many times. Whether it's in class, whether it's on a bus to a trip, whether it's at the trip, whether it's coming home, damn it, that's what they do. That's what they do. Kids, okay? Yeah, kids go to sleep. They fall asleep. However, this Judge Kenneth King, Judge Kenneth King, this judge here, decided after a couple of warnings that he would handcuff this child, this innocent child, handcuff her to show her a lesson. Because in his own words, he has never been that disrespected in a courtroom, which I find very hard to believe. Very hard to believe. Judges get disrespected all the time. Yes, this is a black judge, a black man, a male, melanated man. I keep telling you, Jules, black men are failing. Failing. Instead of being the, shining example of what a melanated person can be as they sit in a courtroom. Instead of being that shining example of a black man to a teen girl, he decides to exercise whatever authorities come with him wearing that robe in that specific space. And because he exercised the authority the way he chose to do it, which was cuff an innocent child, teenager, he caused a lot of trauma traumatized this young girl, who at this point may never view another melanated man in a good light. Just that quick. I already told y'all several times, it didn't take but one time for police to beat me, cuff me, and not listen to me when I explained that I was doing nothing. That one time was all it took. A very smart, articulate kid turned right into the streets. That was it. No matter how many times I witnessed it happen to some older dudes, the older guards and stuff like that in the community, no matter how many times we heard about it, nothing affected me the way it did when it happened directly to me. Now, some people may question again, what were these kids doing there? And we know that this was an organized trip by a nonprofit. So, none of these children, none of them were guilty of anything. None of them were there for any legal proceeding pertaining to them. None of them. They were there as young people to learn, to have an educational moment. And her education was that black men in a position of authority of the white power structure can harm her, can traumatize her at any given time for something as simple as her not being able to remain awake. Now, you know how I do. I'm not coming here to talk. We're not coming here to yell, to shout, to scream without reference, without research, without us in this class, as we always do, because this class is one of the sharpest space on YouTube. We're going to show and prove why this was such an abuse of power. Why black men and other black men fail and consistently have been failing. Consistently not being held or holding themselves accountable for their actions, especially their deeds against us, or to seek graces from the system. Okay? You know how I do. Yeah, let's get it popping. Let's break it down. For real, for real. Federal law on contempt of court. Now, there is nothing that was stated where this 16-year-old was being held in contempt of court because she was not going to court. This was a class trip. This was an excursion. But let's deal with that particular space real quick. From the U.S. Department of Justice, CRM 500-999, 752. General definition of contempt. Contempt of court is an act of disobedience or disrespect towards the judicial branch of the government or an interference with its orderly process. It is an offense against the court of justice or a person to whom the judicial functions of the sovereignty have been delegated. The power of the federal court to punish a contempt of its authority is limited by Title 18 United States Code Section 401 to misbehavior of any persons in his presence or so near thereto as to obstruct the administration of justice, misbehavior of any of its officers in their official transactions, and 3, disobedience or resistance to its lawful writ, process, order, rule, decree, or command. This is a class trip. These children, teenagers, were guests in the courtroom. Now, this is federal law that this fake Judge Mathis just shrugged off. None of this had anything to do with this young teenage girl. None of it. But Judge Kenneth King felt the ways about her dozing off. I would love to know, did he question her? From what we're reading, that they had actually dismissed her from the court, then allowed her to come back. And she still was unable, to remain awake. So he felt the ways. Like a lot of black men, professors, teachers, police officers, who feel entitled because of the title or position that has been given to them by the institution of white folk, to not understand that our children are still our children, and if they are not able to have a firm belief that they can seek nurturing from us, some solace, some compassion, some empathy outside and within these institutions, we're going to lose them. We've already lost them. Okay? So this is federal law that she didn't violate at all, not by dozing off. So there was no contempt. But let's give you another definition outside of the federal statute of what contempt of court is. Contempt of court, often referred to simply as contempt, is the crime of being disobedient to or disrespectful toward a court of law and its officers in the form of behavior that opposes or defies the authority, justice, and dignity of the court. A similar attitude toward a legislative body is termed contempt of parliament or contempt of Congress. The verb for to commit contempt or contemn, as in to contemn a court order, and a person guilty of this is a contemptor or contemner. Okay? There are broadly two categories of contempt: being disrespectful to legal authorities in the courtroom or willfully failing to obey a court order. Contempt proceedings are especially used to enforce equitable remedies such as injunctions. Okay? When a court decides that an action constitutes contempt of court, it can issue an order in the context of a court trial or hearing that declares a person or organization to have disobeyed or been disrespectful of the court's authority, called found or held in contempt. That is the judge's strongest power to impose sanctions for acts that disrupt the court's normal process. I've been in many courtrooms. Federal court, state court, Supreme Court, family court, landlord-tenant court, and seen people sleep. I've seen people sleep through their names being called. Never held in contempt. Okay? Never. At all. At all. Understand what I'm saying. In use today, contempt of court is essentially seen as a form of disturbance that may impede the functioning of a court. So if somebody is sleeping, they're not snoring or anything, how do you impede the process? Especially when you're not there. As somebody who is facing any type of judgment, you're there as a guest. Kids. Children. So you have this black man in a robe. Fake ass Uncle Phil. Trying to be Judge Mathis. In the eyes. And I'm telling you, with the whole business of what's been going on this week, with black men consistently unaliving, black women and kids consistently scraping black women, black teenage girls, over-sexualization consistently, black men consistently working within the entertainment industry to disrespect young women, elder women. Black men are failing. This is what he pulls. Let's continue. Contempt of court is essentially seen as a form of disturbance that may impede the functioning of the court. The judge may impose fines and or jail time upon any person committing contempt of court. The person is usually let out upon an agreement to fulfill the wishes of the court. Civil contempt can involve acts of omission. The judge will make use of warnings in most situations that may lead to a person being charged with contempt if the warnings are ignored. It is relatively rare that a person is charged for contempt without first receiving at least one warning from the judge. Constructive contempt, also called consequential contempt, is when a person fails to fulfill the will of the court as it applies to outside obligations of the person. Shorty was never held in contempt, never charged to be in contempt. Again, as a guest on a class trip, judge knows this. He is well aware of this. So instead of him having this teachable moment, he became the oppressor. He became the jailer. He became just what maybe most of those kids believed anyway. A black man doing a white man's bidding. And at that very point, he lost those children. There's no teachable moment now. There's no comeback from that. Because he put this child in handcuffs. And in some reports, they're saying he even put the county jail uniform on this child. Now, since some people, because we are conditioned to believe, oh, these kids is crazy, you got to do the most to them. You got to show them and be real with them because nobody's doing it. Again, if you look at our kids as monsters, if you look at our kids as unteachable, then that's on you. That has more to do with you than with anything else. Because it takes courage, it takes intelligence, it takes patience to talk to some of the worst of our children. If you're not willing to do that, if you don't have the scholarship to do it, if you don't have the heart to do it, fall back. And whatever may happen to them may or may not, because there's others like us that's going to consistently speak to them and with them, to nurture them, to learn them up, to love them, because we don't want them to see the other side. But a lot of them believe that, yeah, our kids need the harshest treatment as far as learning. They believe in cracking that whip. Just like Master used to do. In order for you to become enslaved, in order for you to work, you were beat because you didn't understand the language he was using. You were beat because maybe you never seen cotton before. Because you never were a blacksmith. A lot of things, the simplest things, got you beat in order for you to learn and understand the ways of white folk. And a lot of people intake that. That's what they believe when it comes to our children. So, but let's see what the law says. Okay? I want to go to a case, right? It talks about handcuffing. Sebastian versus Ortiz, 2019, 11th Circuit Court. An officer stopped Ruben Sebastian for speeding after checking the light transmission on his tinted front windows. The officer asked for consent to search the back of the car where the window tint was darker. Sebastian denied consent, noting the front windows were both down. A second officer arrived, and according to Sebastian, when he denied consent to search by the second officer, the officer became enraged, opened the car door, and removed Sebastian from the car. The officer pressed Sebastian's face onto the hood of the car and tightly applied metal handcuffs. Another officer arrived to transport Sebastian to the station and switched the metal handcuffs for flex cuffs, also allegedly applied tightly. Sebastian complained of pain and numbness, but remained handcuffed for approximately 5 hours. Eventually, no criminal charges were pursued, and Sebastian pleaded guilty to a non-criminal speeding violation. Sebastian sued, alleging nerve damage and loss of employment opportunities. The officer who initially applied the handcuffs claimed the force of handcuffing was de minimis. The court disagreed. The singular measure from the court's decision denying qualified immunity is simple. Handcuffing generally constitutes a use of force. The application of handcuffs must be reasonable. Here are 4 simple but critical reminders. Check for fit after the cuffs are applied, either by visual inspection, finger, or pinch test. Always double lock the handcuffs. Respond to any complaint of tightness. okay, restraints, and document your response. Salute. Derek Blackstone, much appreciated for funding the war effort. And 4, remove the cuffs when safe to do so. In denying qualified immunity for the officer, the court stated Sebastian has adequately pleaded a clearly established constitutional violation of his right to be free from excessive force. Nothing is new with that. You understand? So somebody explain to me how the use of force for a 16-year-old girl on a school trip is justifiable. It's reasonable because she was dozing off. And that doesn't enrage you? That a black man, melanated man, who is so ingrained, I keep telling y'all, black on the outside, in their heart, nothing but oat milk. Yeah. Whole milk, 2% milk is in their heart and blood. That's what their heart pump. White milk. These melanated faces that you don't know how to speak to the 16-year-old, to put the class on pause and bring her and her chaperones into the chamber, to speak to her, to get her to understand the importance of what this trip is. No, you as a man that represents every Masonic order in that courtroom, whatever frat you pledged, whatever oath you took, to use that to traumatize a little black girl, and y'all don't understand why our little girls speak the way they speak, why they're so easily swayed to want to be bad girls, especially in Detroit, in Michigan, to audition for these shows, why their parents can't say anything, their uncles, their grandfathers. Because at what point have black men showed and proved that they're going to protect black women and kids at all costs? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it gets deep. It's deeper. Yeah, it's deeper. Hold on. I'm not finished. Because when you sit in this class, you got to have a firm understanding. I'm opening your view. I want you to see what the kids see and feel what they feel. Check this out. Okay? These are laws all over. I don't know about Michigan, but I know 30 states. Check this out. We're going to get right into it. Youth advocates and legal experts within the New York Court Administration have long argued that when children appear before judges in shackles, it undercuts their ability to a presumption of innocence and goes against their rehabilitative mission of juvenile courts. Now, we're talking about the worst of the worst. We're talking about kids who already have juvenile cases. And they don't put them in cuffs or shackles in front of a judge. However, this judge took it upon himself, okay? Took it upon himself to order handcuffs on somebody who's coming to visit, okay? Check this out. The new law represents an important step in ensuring that the New York State Family Court provide a truly humane, respectful, and anti-racist judicial forum for administration of justice. Currently, New York, along with more than 30 states and Washington, D.C., have enacted laws and court rulings limiting the shackling of youth in court, according to the National Juvenile Defender Center. Okay? New York's legislation introduced by Senator Bailey of the Bronx is one of several proposed laws he has pushed that would reform the juvenile justice system. Preventing the use of hardware restraints on children in court, he said, would remedy the harm that has been done to our young people, break the cycles of criminalization and incarceration, and put our communities on a path towards healing. Because most people who never been in cuffs, never felt cuffs, don't know what that feeling is like. So to impose it and put it on a child, there are limited exceptions under the new law, but exceptions will only apply when judges rule that a child appearing unshackled in court poses a risk of injury to the child or others, or would cause courtroom disruptions. This is a class trip. She's sleeping. We already know she ain't been held in contempt. Nothing. We already see that cuffs are a use of force. Okay? This is what we talking about. Okay? Let's continue. According to New York's National Center for Mental Health and Juvenile Justice, there are clear and detrimental impacts to youth being restrained in court, particularly because the overwhelming majority have suffered childhood trauma. Negative impacts, legal and psychological experts say, are far-ranging, including mistrust of adults, anxiety, and a sense of self that may well push him or her into further criminality. So what did he just do? What did he just do? Don't know what transpired with this 16-year-old girl in her life. Don't know what she was going through. Don't know if she hasn't slept in 3 days because she's been anxious. Don't know if she's been bullied. Don't know if her community is in a mess or her household is in a mess, that she hasn't been able to sleep, and the quietness of that courtroom made it cause her to doze. But you took it upon yourself to traumatize this child. Let's continue. Legal advocates argue the use of shackles on children is also unconstitutional, violating due process rights. So you mean to tell me now that I'm falling asleep in a courtroom, what law was broken where you were required to call for the use of force by cuffing her? Where was her due process? Because this is this class here. I don't know where y'all go. I don't know who other videos y'all share. I don't know what other content. But you're going to learn in here. Let's continue. Because most youth appear in family court in response to nonviolent crimes, physical restraints also can reinforce a perception of a child as dangerous and threatening. This child wasn't there for no hearing. This was a trip. A trip. Groups including the National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges, the Association of Prosecuting Attorneys, the National Association and Council for Children, the American Bar Association, and the New York City Bar Association have all opposed the indiscriminate shackling of children in court. So what's up? What's up? What's up? Why are we even talking about this? Why was this even a thing? Why is he still on the bench? Why hasn't Judge Mathis made a statement about this? Why hasn't Judge Joe Brown made a statement about this 16-year-old girl being handcuffed because she dozed off? I want to hear it. I'm trying to figure this out. Where's Judge Hatchett? Right? Where's Judge Toller? I want to know. For real, for real. Why isn't this viral to the degree of where we at with it? Nehemiah Washington, much appreciation for funding the war effort. I want to know. Because y'all busy talking about equity. You know, I talk equity. Most of them don't. They're talking about equality. They're talking about voting. Because, yeah, the ticket with Kamala is going to mean that we're going to be in a better space. How? How? How can a vote for her change this right here, what is going on in the courts? How can that vote for her change what this 16-year-old has went through at the hands of a black man? Tell me. She's been traumatized. Now let's see what happened to another judge in California when he didn't do anything like this judge, wasn't it Kenneth King did in Detroit. Right? Judge Benitez was holding a hearing, a parole hearing, in February 2023. A parole hearing to revoke the parole of a drug offender. The drug offender brought his daughter to the hearing. Now, the father was concerned that should he get locked up, should they take away his parole, that him not being there and his daughter still remaining in the state, in the city rather, would hang out with bad people, would pick up some bad habits. She was only 13 years old. Okay? Judge, in front of the father, since the father made that declaration in court, told the little girl, come here. Come here. Handcuffed this little girl and asked her, do you like how that feel? Is that a good feeling? To which the little girl, of course, traumatized, said, no, I don't like this. This judge, for whatever happened in Cali, however it came down, was an uproar. He asked for this dude's removal. Check it. Judge Benitez has, at every point, maintained that he acted only with the best intentions towards Mr. Puente's daughter and her father, right? The Judicial Councils said. But his good intentions did not excuse his conduct during the hearing, which displayed misguided and inappropriate methods that exceeded the authority vested in him as a judge, as a jurist. The Judicial Council said two aspects of this judge's conduct were impermissible. He had no authority as a district judge to order the shackling of a hearing spectator who is not engaging in or threatening disorderly behavior. And by creating a spectacle of a minor child in the courtroom, he chilled the desire of friends and family to support loved ones at the sentencing. The Judicial Council found that Benitez violated several judicial ethic rules. He engaged in abusive or harassing behavior, failed to maintain high standards of conduct as a federal judge, failed to act in a manner that promotes public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary, failed to treat the team in a respectful and courteous fashion, and undermined the public's trust and confidence of the judiciary. The Judicial Council noted that Benitez chose not to be assigned new criminal cases when he took senior status in 2017, right? They were trying to get him up out of there. So if he did all of that, what do you think Judge Kenneth King did in the violation of somebody who was just sleeping? Do you understand? And I want y'all to replay it if y'all didn't catch all that. Replay that. What he did. Engaged in abusive or harassing behavior, failed to maintain high standards of conduct as a federal judge, failed to act in a manner that promotes public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary, and failed to treat the team in a respectful and courteous fashion, and undermined the public's trust and confidence in the judiciary. You handcuffing kids who have nothing, no crime, no criminality, nothing. They're there as a spectator. The 16-year-old was there on a trip and ended up in handcuffs, humiliated, traumatized at the hands of a black man. And y'all wonder why. Y'all wonder why they don't trust or respect black men. They don't hear nothing. When you speak to them, it's womp, womp, womp. Charlie Brown adult. Womp, 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 womp. But they'll listen to Sexy Red. They'll listen to Glorilla, right? They'll listen to Young and Ace. They'll listen to Soulja Boy. They'll listen to these people who they consider peers, who give them a false sense of love and affection. They listen to each other in their ignorance of the law, in their ignorance of the institutions that govern them. They'll listen to them all the way until they meet their demise, all the way until they popping each other's head off or jumping each other, pulling wigs off each other at 10, 11, 12, 13. They won't listen because black men fail consistently. The same black men who's supposed to be caring and custodial are looking at them lustfully. Or creating fake memes and TikToks talking about 14-year-olds and what they got going on in their seat. All type of Pedialyte activity. Black men fail consistently. That's what it is. So, yeah, somebody tag Judge Kenneth King. Ask him what was really hood, what's really good with you. Just destroyed a black girl. You destroyed her. Destroyed her. Gone. Lost. Another one that's gonna look at you and say, black men ain't worthy of nothing. I wouldn't date them. I don't want nothing from them. That's what black men consistently do when you undermine our own people for a title, for a position, for a check. Now let's get to this other clown, because he just won't quit, Mr. Coon Harvey, friend Steven, King Shuck and Jive himself, Mr. Bamboozled. You know, I'm just an old country boy. I act like a damn monkey. Ooh-rah! Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Good Shoes and Mr. Goddamn Clown Suits. Let's get to him. Yeah, let's get to him. Oh, Steve Harvey, another viral vid of you shucking and jiving, talking that same old ignorant, down, Midwest country ass bull. Yeah. 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 Let's get to it. Steve Harvey interviewing old Chucks and Pearls. So I hope that y'all understand what it is. Yeah, institutions, fraternities, sororities, oaths. Yeah, Eastern Stars and Masons. Yeah. Fake ass bourgeoisie. Yeah. Could never be part of the 1% at all. Yeah. So they about, they comfortable being part of the 47%. Shucking, on TV, just a jeffing. He ain't quitting. He gonna continue to quit being there for us. Won't quit at all. Rocking for them. So check them out. Now, I don't know how long this actual interview was because everybody is centered on this clip of it, starting off with him saying that people keep calling up to the radio, sending him inboxes and DMs talking about why I ain't asking the hard-hitting questions. And he said, 'cause this ain't that. No, it's not that this ain't that. It's that he don't know no hard-hitting questions. He doesn't know no policy. He never stands for shit. As long as he could tell his little dry-ass jokes, wear his little funny-ass suits, and get spanked and pegged by this ex-drug kingpin's chick, he good with it. He good. That's just who he is. And he showed that with Monique. So now, you can see, same scripted information. This ain't that. No, this ain't that. Exactly, and she just is sitting there smiling and grinning. I'm always trying to figure out what the F is so damn funny, Kamala. What's so funny? Dot. You always grinning and grinning when you got dumb Negroes coming to your rescue and speaking for you. You know the play is working, just like old Sleepy John who told you it would work. Don't worry about nothing. As long as you do what we tell you to do, we good. Black people ain't gonna never care. That's just how they are. Don't worry about them. They're not a threat. You don't have to ever care about what they think about you, because we got you. That's how white folk talk to these clowns. And for the most part, they've been right. I ain't seen near black celebrity get bust upside their damn head with nothing just for showing up, just for coming around. Never. I've seen old face hit Bill Gates in the face with a pie twice. That could have been it. That could have been a gem star right there. That could have been it. Leaked them. I don't never see that when it comes to these people who consistently take your attention and resource away from you, don't give you nothing, and then talk raggedy about you. Like he said on stage, this ain't that. No. This is alley-oop for a slam dunk. They need to know exactly what y'all doing and have been doing for us. Yeah, this is what this is. You know the game. Can't nobody say they're gonna do for black folk and then make it to the presidency. Doesn't it sound like the same shit he told Monique? You know this game, this the money game. And then when Monique proved right, what happened? Again, nobody bust him in the mouth. Nobody tried to take that damn mustache off. No. Because they run around with other black, regressive ass Negroes as security and all. Everybody standing tall and firm for the institutional whiteness and keeping that dream alive. Like I said, man, it ain't about being woke or conscious and fear of a black planet. No. These people are scared to let whitey fail, because then they would be held responsible for their own actions. We would have to be accountable for us. The day whitey fails, we would have to fish and farm and make solar panels and make sure that we are in a law-abiding society. That would be on us. But you just leave it to whitey. So whatever they want done, however they gonna treat you, it's gonna be to their discretion. So that's what you have when you have these celebrities, these athletes, these rappers, these politicians in position with melanin. But inside, yeah, these niggas got the inside cocoa bread. Inside, they got, all that is whiteness. Yeah. So he don't know no hard-hitting questions. This ain't that. You can't talk about doing for white folk. And y'all better vote. Because if you don't vote, the analytics is going to show. This is what he says. This bullshit. Now, again, because we don't know how to play a game. Y'all know what this is. Yeah, we know what this is. We've seen it before. We've been here before. And then again, if you don't vote, what? How are we going to ask for something the next time? The next time? Steve Harvey. The next time? The next time? Nigga, this is the fourth next time. Y'all pandered the black vote for Obama once. Y'all pandered black folk for the vote the second time Obama ran. Then he came out and spoke for old Joe. That's the third time. When is the next time? How many next times you gonna have to keep asking? I'm trying to figure it out. This is the fourth next time. This is, 80 years of asking for reparations. But y'all still listening to this shit? Y'all still listening to celebrities, athletes. You got Gilbert Arenas talking about he feel like a baddie because a chick gave him a ring, old bitch ass. This is where we at? They're not going to continue to allow Steve Harvey to push out a direction when he's not asking critical questions? What are the main basic principles of politics? To ask questions, to listen for your name, to make sure the candidate is going to represent you. And he got the nerve to say, this ain't that. We ain't here to ask critical questions. Really? So we're going to ignore what the Panthers said, what Shirley Chisholm said, what Malcolm said, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, what all of these greats said, Winnie Mandela, everybody that knows what voting is and how we can move through it, we going to ignore them and listen to Steve Harvey. We not going to ask her critical questions about her policies, her positions. No, this ain't that. We just going to throw her the alley-oop. Really? Come on, man. The next time, if we don't vote, then we can't ask for something. Really? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. This is the shit that I'm talking about when I say cancel all celebrities, cancel all athletes, cancel all rappers, cancel all who have a vested interest in this shit remaining intact. That's what drives them. That's the motivation. So when you speak being woke and walking and manifesting that in true consciousness and pulling out of the system, that's what they despise. You understand? That's what they despise. Yeah. Nah, I hate you. I don't hate that. I hate you. Anybody who is successful, based on the success, the idea of success that white folk put in play, that the institutions, they only have any type of success within the confines of the ladders that white folk put in these institutions. The minute it's gone, it's gone. How successful was Broadway when Broadway shut down? How successful were these actors and actresses when there was a writer's strike? How successful have these rappers been since streaming's been the main tool used to distribute music? Ain't too successful now, huh? So you're only successful within the institution of white folk. See, this is how you handle trolls when they come through. Yeah, nah, we don't hate successful people. You understand? Because shit, you could be a successful crackhead, Wanda. I hope, even though we got rid of you, hope you still listening. You could be a successful crackhead, because I know a lot of successful crackheads, they leave the house with not a dime and find a way to smoke all day. That's success. Yeah, successful custies. You understand? There's various levels of success. You could be a successful thought, a successful hoe. Don't come in here talking about black people with success. What the hell is the matter with you? You go to them other platforms when you come with that juvenile mentality. This is not a 5th or 6th grade class, sweetie. Nah, we deal with higher intelligence here. You don't like successful black people. Nah, Nah, that ain't it. Nah, I hate melanated folks that think whitey and the values and principles of whitey deem them successful. Clowns. Come on now. Yeah, so go lick your wounds, Wanda. Yeah, you must have thought I was a slow leak coming here with that bullshit. Nah, we don't play that. But again, I'm glad you came through and subscribed. Yeah, just so you could comment. Yeah, that was mighty nice of you. Next time, send your kids so I could teach them a little better than you can. You know, so I can nurture them and love on them much better than you can. To give them proper information and guidance so we could get rid of their ceiling so they can see that they can excel without relying on white folk. And again, thank my classroom assistants for holding it down. Yeah, make sure y'all come back to class with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. You dig? Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Believe in my belief in you. You dig? That's where we at with it. Remain militant and guard your mind. Don't let these clowns that's destined to fail with white folk cause you to shift your belief in yourself. You are everything that Father Law said you are. You are everything that Stokely said you are. You're everything that H. Rap Brown and Huey and all of our greats, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, you are everything that Winnie Mandela and Asada said you are. You are God. The embodiment of it. But you got to be militant. You got to know it. So you believe in yourself the way I believe in you. Simple as that. And we gonna be fine. Trust and believe we will win. Black August, baby. Salute to George and Jonathan Jackson. Yes. Yes. Salute to McGee. Salute to all of them. Yes. I'll see y'all soon. 55 gang. Get y'all grades up.